She kissed someone who wasn't a girl.
I don't know.
Would you kiss me?
Hey, I'm Derek.
And I'm Noah, and you're listening to A Bite of,
where we take our current favorite pop culture obsession and enjoy it one nibble at a time.
yeah, Heartstopper, episodes 3 and 4. We're halfway done already, because remember, there's only 4 episodes of our show covering 8 episodes of that show.
Double shows.
Yay.
You know what I was thinking? We should have had heart-shaped candies every time we recorded. Although,
and ate them while we were recording?
just have them in the room.
Nom, nom, nom.
Themed.
They don't need to know. We have heart-shaped candies in the room. No, I'm just kidding. No, we can't lie like that.
Dove hearts and those little hearts that say the messages. And sometimes there's gummy hearts. And, oh, one more. Oh, there used to be heart-shaped like Charms lollipops. Those were delicious.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, that's sad.
I've never had that in my life.
Well, Texas, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, Texas doesn't believe in hearts. Only guns.
Only breaking hearts with guns.
Yeah. Ooh, yikes. Speaking of hearts, speaking of hearts, make sure you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at A Bite of Pod. It's going to make sense. Trust me.
I believe in you.
We also have a Patreon. If you want to support LGBTQ creators like ourselves, you can go on there. And also you get discounts on merch, free stuff, and bonus episodes and videos. And then last but not least, this is where the hearts come in. If you heart us so much, leave a review. And also give us those 5 stars. If you're on Spotify, you can just leave stars. So that's easier than having to write something. So just
True.
If you're on there, just
you don't even have to
go
think
do
about it.
We know most of you are on Spotify, so
Yeah.
come on.
We look at the analytics, man. We know what you guys are doing, man.
Yeah.
Can I request some merch?
Yeah.
Can
Are you doing this on air?
Yeah. Can you can you design a sweatshirt that has the leaves embroidered on it?
Yes.
Yes. Thank
Done.
you. Yes.
Next week. I'm overpromising. Next week, look out for that. All right. Before we go forward with episodes 3 and 4, let's just get a little tiny refresher on what happened in episodes 1 and 2.
Just a little tiny itty bitty one.
Yeah.
All right. So let's take a look back at Heartstopper episodes 1 and 2, Meet and Crush.
Crush meat.
In the first episode, we meet our 2 stars, Charlie, who is sneaking into dark rooms of the school to kiss selfish Ben, and Nick, who is Charlie's seatmate in their new form after returning from winter break.
Seatmate.
Yeah. The pair get to know each other, and Nick asks Charlie if he'd like to be on the rugby team. Charlie says yes. Tao misses Elle, who has recently enrolled at the all-girls school. Extra apple juice, anyone? And of course, Isaac reads. In the second episode, Elle befriends Tara and Darcy, while Nick and Charlie have a few weekend hangouts that lead to Nick wondering if he might have feelings for Charlie.
Oh.
Leaves blow in the wind, sparks fly, and all of our hearts are stopped.
Ooh. Title drop.
Bam!
All right. So officially, a spoiler warning. If you haven't watched Heartstopper yet, I suggest you go do that or read it and then come listen to us. And then, of course, just because of the subject matter that we're covering, there's some heavy themes in this. So you've been warned. Spoiler warning. Let us begin.
Let us officially take a bite of Heartstopper episodes 3 and 4, Kiss and Secret.
All right. Starting with Kiss. Just going to say, favorite episode of the entire series.
Yes.
Just going to throw that out there. But episode 3 does start with Nick taking the How Gay Are You quiz. For accessibility purposes, we're going to do the one that BuzzFeed has. We're going to take this quiz just to see if we're actually gay or not.
Fingers crossed it works out.
Divorced.
Although
Podcast canceled.
Oh man, right in this moment. But yet we still edit it and release it.
Yeah.
I do want to say that this is lightly British though, because the first question is color is spelled with a U.
Yeah. Okay. So question number 1 is choose a color. Color.
Color.
Red, blue, pink, yellow, lilac, green. Lilac was a curveball.
Gorgeous.
I'm doing yellow.
I'm doing blue.
All right. Number 2. Pick your favorite Beyonce song. Flawless, Single Ladies, Run the World, Drunk in Love, Crazy in Love. TBH, I'm not into Beyonce. Oh my God. Oh, I'm doing Flawless.
I'm doing Single Ladies. I love a dance.
All right. Number 3. Do you enjoy consensual sexual experiences with or feel a sexual attraction to members of the same sex as yourself? This one, yes, all the time. Quite a bit. Yeah. What? Now and then. Hardly ever. Never. I mean, I know I'm fully gay, so I'm just going to say yes all the time.
Yeah.
Meow.
Me too.
What city would you most like to live in? New York, well, London, Paris, San Francisco, Tokyo, Moscow. I'm doing London.
I'm going to do Tokyo.
Yeah, I knew it.
It was either London or Tokyo, but I figured
We already
London.
live in New York, so no thanks.
That's just old and boring to us.
What's your drink of choice? Beer, gin and tonic, white wine, cocktails, stout, whiskey. Mine is, I would say, a stout for sure.
I'm going to go with white wine. Ooh, I'm going to get 100%, baby.
Yeah. Okay, just to clarify, do you like having sex with people of the same sex? No, really no, barely, sort of, now and then, quite a lot. I already told you, yes, I do. Gender binaries, what the fuck? I'm going to say, I already told you, I do.
Same.
What's your ideal Saturday night? Clubbing until 5 a.m., dinner and theater, quiet drink with friends, doing something new, house party, night in with Netflix.
Ooh, I'm torn.
Man, I'm going to do doing something new.
Ugh, I don't know if I should do quiet drink with friends or night in with Netflix.
Friends. You know
Yeah,
you want to do the friends one, yeah. Ooh, hang on. Have you ever felt sexually attracted to someone of the same sex?
This is so redundant.
Your questions are weird. Yes, I have, obviously. I'm just going to say that, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I have, obviously. Which U.S. president do you most identify with? Barack Obama, William Howard Taft, Ronald Reagan, JFK, James Buchanan, Abe Lincoln. None of them?
Abe. It's got to be Abe.
Why?
Beard.
Me?
Like the theater. Well, me.
Oh.
Both of us like the theater and also is rumored to have been homosexual.
Okay. I'm going to do that one. Because also they're presidents and I've never identified with a
I don't
president.
really know much about William Howard Taft, if I'm being honest. So,
what's your favorite root vegetable? Carrot, Jerusalem artichoke, potato, sweet potato, ginger, beet. Beet. 100% beet.
I'm going potato.
If you could pick your ideal partner for a romantic date, what qualities would they have? They'd be the same sex as me. Yes. Well, I'm not even going to name the other ones.
I thought it was going to be like walk in the park.
Yeah. Pick a weather phenomenon. Flooding, little fluffy clouds, sunshine, tornado, ball lightning, big pretty rainbow.
I'm going sunshine.
I don't want to say flooding because people die. What's ball lightning? I'm going to pick ball lightning because that sounds exciting.
Ball lightning.
Yeah. Which sex is sexiest? Same sex as me. Duh. Okay, picking that. The other ones don't make sense. Pick an arbitrary box. Box A, box B, box 3, box 4. This box, screw your boxes. I'm going to do screw your boxes.
I like box 3.
Oh my God. Okay, last question, guys. Promise.
Be with us.
This is a long one. A plane leaves New York at 4:15 p.m. local time, bound for London, traveling at 500. Oh my God, this is a math question.
I think it's just a trick.
500 miles per hour. Another plane leaves London at 9:30 p.m. local time, heading in the opposite direction, traveling at 550 miles per hour. If they maintain a constant airspeed, do you ever want to have sex with someone of the same sex? The the answers are, wait, what? Yes. For fuck's sake. Still yes, you cannot trick me with your maths problems. I'm picking that one.
Yeah. Same. Yes.
What'd you get?
Very gay.
I got very gay too.
Woohoo.
I think every answer you probably get with this is very gay.
You are very gay. You really enjoy having sexual experiences with members of the same sex.
Whoa.
You are attracted both physically and emotionally to people of the same sex and are not very keen at all on sexual relations with members of the opposite sex. Yay. Okay, so I have a little bit of a problem with this. It is so based in sex and sexual attraction.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that as far as like how gay are you, if it's talking about being gay, you have to be attracted to
Where were the pop star questions? Where were the questions about interior design? Where were the questions about baking? That's how you really know if you're a gay person.
Well, we have to obviously take the one that Nick actually took for...
That gives a percentage.
Yeah, I thought this was going to give a percentage. So we're 100% gay. Spoiler.
Worked out for us.
But Nick, when he takes the quiz, 62%, which actually does make sense, and it comes in later, you know?
That is true. Right. Now, I was wondering, he goes to the internet and starts doing searches and taking quizzes. Did you turn to the internet at all in your coming out process or your self-discovery process?
Don't quote me on that. I think I might have said something about it in the last episode. Maybe. I mean, kind of, but not really. I was more of the person that just kind of would try to like block it out. Not like literally, but just be like, yeah, we're just not going to think about it. Football. Texas, you know, like that was kind of what I did. And then like when I got older, then I did my research. Not necessarily about being gay, but like the history of gay people and LGBTQ people and stuff. Then I actually
Who are my forefathers?
Yeah.
Who are my foreparents?
Who are my gay fathers?
Yeah. I kind of, I definitely did. I went online for support. I made fake screen names and like went into gay chat rooms and tried to talk to people.
Spicy.
Well, yeah, I didn't really want them to be spicy. You know, it's like ASL, age, sex, location.
Yeah.
But really, I did meet a couple of people that I was just like, I'm 16. I'm so scared. I don't know what to do. And they were like, it'll be okay. You'll be fine.
Right.
So that was really helpful for me.
I only used AIM to talk to my friends and then to also be in like the Screamo chat rooms and like talking about like...
What's a Screamo chat room?
Genre of music.
Got me.
Texas football.
Yikes.
That was
so
emo.
angry.
Yeah, I mean, it's high school. That was the phase I was in. But yeah, I was too scared to click on we had like a family community computer, so I didn't, no way.
Yeah, I learned how to erase the history and the cookies and all that pretty
Ours
early on.
was in the laundry room, and it like the computer screen faced the hallway, so I never even wanted to tempt fate to do that. So
understandable.
No, it was just a bunch of music videos of, I don't know, Under Oath or something like
Screamos.
that. Yeah. I can't believe you don't know this genre of music.
Screamo.
Yeah.
It sounds like an evil clown. Screamo.
Insane Clown Posse? Not in the same genre, but
right.
Yeah, there are clowns sometimes.
there are clowns sometimes.
But seeing Nick, a young questioning gay person, see the worst side of what comes with being gay was pretty tough to watch. Because he doesn't just take the quiz and like, how much percentage am I gay? He like goes down a rabbit hole and he's seeing a bunch of stuff, a lot of conversion therapy and discrimination and stuff. That's tough. See, I did that later.
Well, that's the whole thing, though. That's why it's so scary to come out, because it's not just this simple thing. It's a loaded thing to be gay in the world. And people are always going to be pushing against who you are. So it's incredibly frightening. So I think this is a very real scene. It's a very real thing of him trying to figure out what's going on and the fear that comes with it.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I told you heavy themes up top. This is one of them. So the big point of this episode is the party. Harry, he gets introduced into this episode. He is just as bad as Ben, but he has more bros with him. Ben is like a solitary villain. Harry is like the person that just has a lot of henchmen with him. And I don't like either of them.
Yeah, they're villains in different ways. I feel like Harry is clearly a bully.
Right.
And I think that's the difference between him and Ben. Ben is doing some really shitty personal things, but Harry is going out of his way to try and make people
Openly.
miserable. Yeah.
Openly being an asshole.
Yeah.
An open asshole? No, I didn't.
You better. This is a family podcast.
There's an E next to explicit. That was the explicit part, guys. I'm sorry. I really didn't mean to say that.
Gaping in this episode? No.
So Harry's 16th birthday is coming up. And-
Skip over it.
Yep. Harry invites Nick and Imogen. Imogen?
Imogen.
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 Emotion.
Imogen.
Emotions.
Bonjour.
Invites herself to go with Nick to the party. So they've known each other since like 7th year. So they've known each other for a while. Clearly, she has feelings for him. She invites herself. Nick is kind of oblivious at this point to it. So
Listen,
he's like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, he's got a lot going on, Imogen. Okay, he can't be dealing with your nonsense right now.
Yeah.
Your Baby Spice wannabe pigtail thing happening.
Yeah.
It's actually like Jerry. It's like Ginger Spice's highlights with Baby Spice's pigtails.
I'm not a fan of it, but I'm not a fan of it. Like, it doesn't bother me, but sometimes when I see it, I'm like, it could be better.
So here's the thing about Imogen as a whole, right? Is that we want to not like her, but she's really done absolutely nothing wrong.
Yeah, that's the hard thing about this, and I feel like they did a really good job in this show doing. See, I'm going to say it a few times, and I think I've said it online too. I wish I had a show like this growing up, because it is very real. Like, even if you didn't really experience some of these instances, somebody has experienced these instances, and especially like, you know, Nick being questioning, he's not really seeing that, you know, crushing or like her liking him. Not yet, until it's like fully out in the open. So he's not picking up on those cues. She thinks he is.
Right.
So the fact, so it's hard to watch, but I think it's important to watch because it's hard.
Also, we learn later on that Nick is bisexual.
Right.
But there's also this thing of like, and this happened to me a little bit in high school where like, I was very nice to
everybody,
to everyone, and to the straight girls. And sometimes girls who just met me didn't really understand what was happening. So they were like, he's flirting with me, but it's I'm just being friendly. And so I think like, if you're not out of the closet, it can be discombobulating. It's like, what does this attention mean that they're giving me?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, especially when you're young, it's everything. Like we said, the small things are gigantic things. I mean, you give somebody a Valentine just because you had to, and your boyfriend or girlfriend, boyfriend already.
Or no, yeah, just together.
Yeah.
No genders needed at all.
Right. So in the locker room, the only reason why I wanted to bring up this scene is because it was kind of important as far as the process of the story goes. Charlie hears the teammates talking about how all these girls like Nick, like Tara, Imogen. I keep saying, stop, don't make that face. I'm going to say it like that because that's how I say it. That's how I'm going to say it. Then you say her name. Every time I have to say her name, you have to say it. Okay. I can't say that again. But turns out Nick asked Charlie if he wants to go to Harry's party with him. So that's the whole just over his head.
Imogen
asked him to go to the party.
He's like, yeah, you can come.
Right. And he's like, oh, thanks, cool. But he's like, I like Nick or Charlie. Damn it, it's happening again. I like Charlie, so I'm going to ask the boy that I like. Ooh. She's just sitting there like, I'm going to this party with this boy. He doesn't want to go with you like that.
No. You're just coming as friends.
Yeah.
I realize that, though.
Yeah, and then Charlie has to ditch his friend's movie night to go to this party, which is fine. I think you're allowed to not be with your friends that you're with all the time.
Yeah.
To like foster this potential romance.
But when you're a teenager, it's very hard and it's very dramatic.
They could have just went to the party too.
I guess.
Harry taking tickets at the door?
No, it's at a giant hotel, giant Airbnb that he rented out.
I'm pretty sure it's his house.
Well, so it's interesting. In the novels, it's his house, but in the show, they say that he rented out a space.
I'm pretty sure that in Airbnb's policies, you cannot rent it out for events or parties.
This was before. Before time.
It's always been there. Don't fucking lie to me.
I love this scene of them typing to each other and Charlie canceling on them. One, because you sort of see them all handling it in a different way.
Tao, of course, is very, protective and aggressive.
Protective, defensive.
Yeah.
Elle's just kind of like, okay, good for you. Isaac is reading and ignoring all the drama.
He'll see it later.
And I also appreciate the typing in this show because there have been one or two properties that we've covered that when they type on their phones, it looks insane.
Oh, Hawkeye.
Hawkeye
Was a travesty with typing.
It was horrendous.
Yes.
In this show, I'm pretty sure they're actually typing the things that are on the screen.
They could be. I mean, why not? If they know what they're supposed to say on it, just text it.
Like, yeah. Marvel, what happened?
Hey, Miss Marvel picked it right up and did a step further and made it go into the world.
Oh, okay. Defensive?
No,
Jeez.
I'm just defending one thing. There's a very good thing and a very bad thing that we saw. So before we move any further with Nick and Charlie's story in this episode, we'll just talk about movie night and kind of what happened at Tao's room during this. So Elle is the only one that actually ends up going
to
Isaac, movie night.
Quote unquote canceled.
He did it on
'cause he's
purpose.
Sick.
Did it on purpose.
Of course.
Yeah.
Isaac is the wise, all-knowing friend in the background.
He is the best character in this entire show. And he
agree.
has like 3 lines that he says.
It's his soothing presence. There's just something about him.
He's so sweet and he's just so smiley all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, I love this person. Again, reminder, you can YouTube the actors' the vlogs of filming the show. It's so sweet. You'll fall in love with these people even more.
Toby Donovan. I also want to mention that in this episode, during the texting scene, he's reading Quantum Mechanics, the Theoretical Minimum by Leonard Susskind and Art Friedman. Just a little bit of
light
physics.
reading. Right. Yeah. They're probably like have all their college credits already and they're just there to hang out with friends.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
So during movie night, Tao is worried that Charlie is being stolen by Nick. Again, he's being very defensive about it. This is kind of Tao's arc through this first season.
Agreed.
He's very much scared of change. And Elle in this scene, she talks about how change is good. Like there is some change that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Look at me, Tao. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She had all these changes for the good. And she even points out real life changes. I met friends. That's a good change for me. I changed schools. That's a good change for me. So she's good for him.
Yeah, and also not to mention that we're starting to see that there might be something between them. But
Oh my
Tao
God.
is so preoccupied with all the Charlie Nick drama that he can't see that Elle is like, change can be good. Sometimes relationships change for the better. Like if you and I were together in a more than friends way.
Yeah, I feel like he's just so wrapped. Like, I feel his identity is with his friends, and it's almost like he doesn't know how to deal with his own self without his friends being around. So, like, he might be scared that they're all going away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're his security blanket, I think. And it started with this coming back from break. Elle was gone, and
Right.
now Charlie's leaving.
Yeah, I mean, you have to feel for him a little bit. It's like that. I've been in situations where it's like your friends kind of just start drifting away, and
Yeah.
it's like, I wasn't ready to drift away, but okay, bye.
Well, these people are all you know. And then it
Yeah.
is that weird thing when like this sort of interloper comes in and like steals one of you guys away.
Yeah, yeah.
What?
And then also to just for continuity's sake, Tao's room is amazing. The Polaroids all over
The
that.
Polaroid wall.
But I do want to say that the Truman movie poster on there, I wanted that poster so bad. And I'm very jealous that they have the Truman Show poster on their wall.
And he is like a film snob in some ways.
Yes.
So he only wants to watch films.
Yes. But he also wants to watch films that I would very much like to watch, like Arrival, Lady Bird. Elle doesn't want to because they're depressing, but I'm like, those are very good movies. What do
They
you
are
want
very
from
good
me?
movies. And you know what, though? Sometimes I just feel that with Elle. You just do, like, maybe you're already in a bad spot and you don't want to be even more sad. Can I want to bring up one other thing about the whole Tao scene is his mom, who is in love with Elle.
Who
And
wouldn't
it's the
be?
cutest thing ever.
Who wouldn't
She's
be?
so excited to see her, and I love that.
They're very cute together, Elle and Tell. They kind of opposites almost in personality, but they meet in the middle with being how strong they are.
Mm-hmm.
I love these two.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that like to get to their blossoming relationship,
Next
closeness.
season.
Yeah, I'm super excited for that. All right, let's talk about the 16-year-old party because it's absolutely fucking ridiculous. And it's the one thing I don't like in like coming of age things where it's like the rich person's like sweet 16. I'm like, you, where are the parents? Who's refilling the drinks? There is no kids that are responsible enough to make sure all the snacks are out. There's
I
no
agree
way.
with that.
Who's playing the music?
Yeah, I'd been to a couple of parties, more college parties where there weren't sufficient snacks, and that I found upsetting.
That you cannot not have snacks.
Feed your guests.
Yeah.
Feed your guests.
Well, especially teenagers. No way. No way. They'll eat everything
yeah.
very quickly.
Listen, literally, you just need a few hundred bowls of chips, and you're fine.
just a few hundred.
Just
I
a
feel
few.
like it would be harder to find bowls than it would be
That's true.
chips.
You could do that fun thing where you like roll down the sides of the bag, and you got a bowl right there.
That's true. That's true.
So easy, but I agree. But I mean, this party's got everything. It's got laser lights. It's got confetti.
Chandeliers.
It's got a DJ. It's got chandeliers. Multiple floors. Full-on bathrooms.
Like a
with-
ballroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of mood lighting too. It's very dark. Very dark for this party.
Dark for smooching.
Yeah. It's very much like if they were adults, they'd be at a nightclub. Like that's what it felt like. Yeah. Yeah. So we don't get much of Charlie's dad, but we get him a few times in this first season. He's great every time.
I love supportive parents.
He's very protective of Charlie, and you see that as he drops Charlie off to this to this party. It's a coming of age story. It could have been a dance.
Yeah,
Could have
prom,
been, yeah.
dance,
Could have
homecoming.
been-
Sure.
Yeah. Nick spotting Charlie across the room. So sweet. It is so sweet. Directly from the book. But it's like that. There's the recipe for good stories like this, like young love and everything like that. And you have to have this moment where they're the only people in the room filled with people. It's so sweet.
And then when they lock eyes, the music that everyone's dancing to vanishes, and then there's just like some mood lovey-dovey music.
Oh, yeah.
And in this show, it's like this, like
The
that.
synths.
It's so good.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a moment like that with you. We kind of had a moment like that
Tell me more.
when I got off the LIRR. And then you were like walking up towards me. It was like early.
Early.
But it was cute. Because
When-
there was a lot of people coming out.
Yeah.
And then like, I don't know, I saw you and you were just like, "Ee." I was like, he's sweet.
When Noah and I first started dating, he would take the LIRR, which is the Long Island Railroad, out to where I lived at the time. And I would go up the stairs to meet him on the platform every time.
Yeah.
Even though it's a place where like you just call someone and you're like, I'm downstairs.
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
thing.
No, if you did that. So I lived in Brooklyn. I would have to take the J 16 plus stops to Jamaica, then get on the LIRR for about 30 minutes?
Change your sweaty shirt.
Yeah, change my shirt because guys, I would literally have to jump I would have to run platforms through trains that were open to get to the other train on the other platform just to make it. But yeah, if he would have not come out of the car and met me on the top of the platform, I'd be like, you know what? What's the point?
I met you day, night,
Yeah.
regular beard, glitter beard.
Yeah.
How to meet you there.
Fun. But to put a damper on this just a little bit, because Harry is the newly introduced villain, Nick and Charlie just sitting by themselves, hanging out like they did for the last couple of weekends. Harry comes over with his bros and he kind of harasses Nick. He ignores Charlie pretty much completely. And he's like, oh, that Tara girl's here. Why don't you go talk to her? You guys like each other. It's so infuriating, this whole thing, because it's so real. Because he's not out, all of his friends are like, you like that girl. You like that girl. Go do it. It's like, what do you even say? What do you say?
Well, exactly. And I think it's also that thing of being a teenager where the peer pressure is real. Because in reality, she should have been like, nah, I'm okay.
Mhm.
But it's just like, oh, okay, I'll do whatever. Yeah, let me go talk to Tara because you said so, Harry.
Right. But I am glad he did go and talk to her because then she comes out to him.
Okay. Tara and Darcy are
adorable.
They're adorable, and they're the backbone for everyone's survival in this entire story.
Yeah, and they don't even go to the same school as our main characters.
Like they saved Elle at the new school.
Yep.
They're giving Charlie bravery to come to terms with his own sexuality. They are just the ones that are doing everything.
You mixed them up.
Oh,
yes.
You did it.
Yes.
You evil being.
So what he meant was they're giving Nick the strength to come out.
My Tara Darcy rant was ruined by a misnomer.
We have tons of those. But it is true. And that's the beauty of the story, is because each character has a purpose on why they're there. It's not just a cast of characters that are fun, but there's a reason for them. And it is nice to see that these young girls are comfortable enough to be like, you know what? I'm just not going to come out. I'm just going to be happy.
Right. And I think that's also an important part of them, right? So they are there, they are together, but it's not like they have everything figured out already and they're perfectly fine and they're just upstanding lesbian citizens. It's like they're together, but they're still on their own journey and what that means. And they've come to terms with their sexuality and their relationship themselves, but now they have to be open about it to everyone else because they don't want to have to hide it.
Yeah, she says to Nick when he comes up to her and he's like, oh, they want us to blah, blah, blah. And she's like, all of this could have been avoided if I would have just come out as a lesbian. And then, kind of joking, and then she actually does. But it's like, that one sentence sums up a lot of problems. Because imagine a world where if you could just be who you are and you didn't have to go what Nick is going through or Tara or Darcy or even what Charlie went through. Yeah, my God. It's so frustrating. But it's like, I feel like the show kind of gives you a little hope. One, that the show even exists.
Right.
And two, on how some of these situations can find love, acceptance, your community, and it is okay. I can't wait to get to a particular scene in this show. It's just so beautiful with Nick and his mom.
Oh my gosh. Last episode, man.
Is it the last episode?
Yes.
Oh my God, 2 episodes, guys, and then I could talk about it. It's so good. But I do respect people that decide to come out whenever they want to come out. And I also respect people that just decide to live and not come out and just have people figure it out.
No one says you have to come out.
Nope.
You can just be yourself and that's it. You don't have to make an announcement, which is the point of Tara and Darcy.
Right.
And I even think that in this conversation, Tara can see something within Nick where he might have a little bit of internal turmoil.
It's that gay intuition.
Yeah. And so she kind of like looks at him and nods a little bit, but she is willing to respect him and not push for information.
Right. So take that, all of you quote unquote allies that want to out people. Stop it.
Yeah.
But Nick does stand up to Harry a little bit because he's just not having it. He's like, oh, did you kiss her? Did you ask her out? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, just stop it. I did like this, like slowly Nick is starting to see that Harry's just a douchebag.
Right.
And all of his friends are turds.
I also want to say the fact that he outright says to Harry, he says, that's homophobic, Harry.
Oh, yeah.
See, that's a brave thing to do.
Put a name on it.
Yes, exactly. And it's scary to do something like that, but it's also very important. So in order for him to say that, that's very homophobic it's like a chef's kiss moment.
Yeah.
For young Nick.
Completely agree. In this instance, though, Charlie left because Nick left. And he's like, well, I'm not going to be around Harry and the douche bros. So I'm going to leave. But guess who shows up to the party?
Buon.
Bencident. Remember, I called him Bencident because he's an incident that happened and his name is Ben. And I don't like him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he shows up. Charlie does stand up to himself a little bit. Fantastic.
Pushes him against the wall.
Little Miss Imogen. I couldn't signal. Yeah, Imogen.
Imogen.
Tells Nick that she really likes him. That is the worst. It's the worst because, again, he can't say anything. She's so happy that she told him, and he is so oblivious.
He's like, I'm looking for Charlie. That's cool.
Oh, my God. It's happened to me before, particularly when I worked at the bookstore.
The bookstore incident.
The bookstore incidents. I had a lot of Bencidents at not just like people. But anyway, I would work the cafe a lot. And on 3 different times, I worked there for like 6 years. 3 different times, a woman had given me their number because they liked me. Felt so bad. I didn't like say, oh, no, thank you. I should have. I wasn't technically really out at that point. I just like kind of threw it away after they left. But they were regulars at the bookstore.
Oh, awkward.
So it was very awkward.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's best to just be as nice as you can, because it's still, they shouldn't force you to come out, but don't hurt their feelings as much as you can.
I had a very weird thing like that in high school where my first boyfriend and we broke up when I was a senior and he was a junior. And this girl had a crush on me. Obviously, we weren't out in high school. He was friends with her. She comes up to me, she goes, "Can you give my number to Derek?" And he was like, yes. It was very awkward for everyone involved.
Did you text her?
No.
Just
She
curious.
actually referred to me. She said, "Can you give my number to that boy with the honeydew eyes?" That was me.
There's better pickup lines.
Honeydew eyes.
What
They're a hazel, but I'll take it.
Is that what that means?
Yeah, meaning like the color of my eyes are like greenish.
Oh. Limey.
Lime time.
Yeah. I'm like overthinking it. I'm like, honeydew's green.
Yeah.
But I get it
hazel
now.
eyes.
Yeah. So Nick finally finds Charlie. That was very hard to say. Nick doesn't want to hang with the homophobes anymore. Charlie stood up for himself, and they go somewhere quieter. 100% anytime somebody says this to you and you're not sure how they feel about you, they like you. Even if they won't say they like you, they like you.
Yeah. It's always, there's hand holding.
It's so loud in here.
Yeah.
We should go somewhere quieter.
Ooh.
What?
I do what I feel like, so he just stood up to Harry, and then I think the final push for him to do this is that as he's looking for Charlie, he sees Tara and Darcy dancing and they kiss. And as they kiss, they look so happy and rainbow lights are just shooting out of them. He is just like melting at the thought that he could be that happy.
They're free, in love, and
Oh.
alive. Yeah.
I love this whole episode is so good.
It's so fucking sweet. So sweet. I could watch this episode a whole bunch of times and it will still be as sweet as it was the
Yes.
first time I watched it.
Damn.
So they go somewhere quieter. Alone, Charlie asks Nick which girl he likes. And Nick, to our surprise, says, "You assume it's a she." I will never forget this scene. It's so sweet. It's so real. And it's very important.
Yes.
It's very important for the subject matter and for these characters. Charlie realizes he has a chance. He kind of scoots a little closer to him just a little bit. Would you kiss someone that wasn't a girl? Nick doesn't know. The sparks, the flowers, they're getting closer to each other. They're kind of like touching pinkies just a little bit. Would you kiss me? When he said that, I was like, oh, please say yes. And he says, yeah. I'm obsessed with how sweet this show is.
It is.
They
just-
kiss.
Oh, they kiss.
They kiss.
The sparks fly from their hands. Flowers float around them. It's such a
Mhm.
beautiful moment.
So sweet.
I actually cry at this moment.
Oh, both of us teary when we like just watched it.
Again,
Yeah.
because so what comes to mind for me, and you've kind of been saying this the whole episode, but this scene in particular really made me think this is that this is so fucking important. This is so important. Imagine if you were a teenager and you saw this and you were so worried and so scared about what the world would think of you. And then you turn on Netflix and there's two boys
Right.
kissing.
Right. Very
Holy
important.
crap.
Yeah. That's why representation matters.
It would have I just know it would have blown my mind because I was so looking for things like this as a teenager.
Yeah.
Instead, I was settling for horrible shows on MTV like Undressed, which
Ugh.
were just so stupid and soapy. And this is so real.
Or
and
Queer
so
as Folk.
sweet. Queer as Folk,
My
please.
God. You know,
Please.
side note, there is good representation and then there is not so good representation. Personally, and you don't have to feel this way. Personally, I feel like Queer as Folk isn't great representation because it's very promiscuous. And that's what a lot of people see the LGBTQ community as. Everybody has sex. Everybody likes to be promiscuous. And then there are some people that don't.
Right.
So I'm just saying, there's a very big like stereotype and stigmatism with being in the LGBT community, and it just rubs me the wrong way sometimes.
I think a lot of people agree that the original Queer as Folk really wasn't the best at representation as far as the community and just diversity within the community as general.
Right.
I mean, now they made the new one. I haven't watched the new one, so I
can't
don't know.
speak to it.
Yeah.
Nope.
But I do agree. There's just that thought of, what it means to be gay, and this is the quote unquote lifestyle, whatever. Meanwhile, it's like, what about the rest of us that are married and that are like raking our leaves and shit like that? You know what I mean? It's like, I got to take my dog to the vet. You never see that.
Yeah.
But that's the reality of life.
Yeah.
It's not dancing at a club shirtless with glow sticks.
No. Some people, maybe.
Maybe.
Not a lot of people.
Not I.
But when that is one of the only representations of the LGBTQ community, it's like, okay, but we don't all do that. I don't like going to the club. Like, come on.
I like falling asleep in a chair watching TV.
Watching Heartstopper.
Glamorous.
Yeah. So, who ruins this moment? But Harry. Harry is looking for Nick. Nick goes to check on him because he doesn't want him coming in the room where he just kissed a boy for the first time, leaving Charlie alone. And Charlie thinks that he did something wrong. This moment was equally very sweet and so wholesome and beautiful, and then equally as devastating.
Heartbreaking.
Seeing Charlie's face whenever Nick left the room and didn't come back. Oh my God. And then his dad comes and picks him up and he just cries. It's like, oh, he thought this was his chance to not have another Bencident. Jury's still out. Is it? It's not. But is it? For show purposes. The next day, the rain, doorbell rings. Nick is at the door. He says hi, and he says hi. End of episode 3.
Yay!
So he did come. He came to talk to Nick.
I'm really realizing
Charlie.
I didn't realize the first time we watched it, because we watched it all back to back. These pretty much all end on a cliffhanger.
Oh yeah, all of them.
Evil.
A good thing we're doing 2 episodes at a time.
Alice Oseman.
At the end of this one.
How dare.
Sorry.
Next week.
You have to wait a week. Yeah. Episode 4. We're just going to go right into it because it literally continues the scene.
Right there.
Nick apologizes to Charlie for not texting. He also forgot his coat. He's soaked, drenched. Drenched. Charlie apologizes. I could barely get that word out. Charlie apologizes for kissing Nick. He misread the situation, which is, I could only imagine being one of the most devastating things. You tried so carefully to see if this person liked you, and then it's like, oh, did I force you to kiss me? Like, is this a bad situation? Now I can't be friends with you? Oh my God.
Well, also the signals that Nick is sending, so he runs from the room, leaves Charlie by himself. Charlie gets home. He's devastated. Nick doesn't even text him.
Yeah, bad excuse.
No message.
You could have.
What did you do the rest of Nick? What did you do the rest of the night at
He
the
was
party?
dealing with his feelings.
Where'd you go?
Home.
You better have.
Yeah.
You better not be dancing. Not with no Imogen.
He's dancing with Imogen. Tara and Darcy.
Yeah, you are an Imogen.
Imogen.
Screamo music. Imogen.
Yeah. But while Charlie is continuously saying sorry, which is something he does all the time, to shut him up, Nick kisses him.
Yes.
And we get the tippy toe kiss.
The tippy toe kiss. It's a famous kiss on your tippy toes. That's
Kiss. Oh, it needed one more note.
No, it was fine the way it was.
Nick talks about how he's confused and feeling everything. He has a full-on gay crisis, which makes sense. He's slowly coming to terms with, yeah, I do like dudes. I might like girls, but I know I like you. And that's the important part. And that's the important part about bisexuality is that you can like multiple sexes, but they can also like a person. Doesn't mean that they're just gay. Doesn't mean that they're straight. Doesn't mean that they're neither or neither. They're bisexual. That's what it is.
Yeah. There's also pansexual? Pansexual is about the person as well, right?
Yeah, well, that's
It's not
more about
gendered.
the person.
It's
Right.
person.
Bisexual is liking a male and a female.
And a female.
Pansexual is liking, you can like transgender or non-binary, blah, 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 all that.
I like this scene. I think it's sweet because Charlie thinks that he has to apologize to Nick, but Nick is actually there to apologize to Charlie.
Yeah, he does it too much.
Yeah. And he's like, no, you didn't do anything wrong. I did something wrong because I left the room like an idiot, and then I didn't text you, and then I probably danced with Imogen all night.
Yeah, it's very mature for him to say that he needs time to figure this out. Very mature.
But
and
then,
it's a step that Ben wouldn't have done
right
for Charlie.
But then again, so this is where this episode starts to teeter-totter, right? Because this episode is called Secret. So Nick asks Charlie if it's okay to keep it a secret. And then us as viewers, we're like, wait a minute. Is
Ben.
this not the same thing as Ben and Charlie?
Right.
So we're all kind of tiptoeing that line as well because we want it to work out just like Charlie does. And we're willing to say yes, so it will work out, but we don't know if it's in Charlie's best interest.
Yeah, this episode is setting up the drama for the rest of the series. It's halfway through, or rest of the season. It's halfway through the season, so we have to get that drama. I will say that this drama isn't necessarily malicious. So that's a thing that this show does have in its favor. It's just a lot of misunderstanding.
Yeah.
And not being ready to say something.
Yeah.
Which I think is completely reasonable.
And Charlie again, nope. Nick again, differing from Ben, is that Nick is very aware of what he's asking Charlie to do.
Also, he keeps checking up on him.
Right.
Like, is this okay? Is this okay? Because you
Exactly.
know that if Charlie said it's not okay, Nick would be like, okay, I'm out.
Absolutely.
Even though he wouldn't like it. He would do that. Remember, he's a golden retriever. He's very loyal.
Loyal?
Yeah.
What a little angel with his floppy hair.
Yeah. So we get the scene with Nick goes on his way. Charlie runs after and gives him a kiss. And you can see that Charlie is really seeing this as a different instance. I think he also is a little more mature and being like, he's saying things and doing things that Ben never would have done for me.
Right.
Also, he's at my house. That's a huge step.
I also want to point out that in the creative aspect of the show, we start to see the pairing of blue and yellow more now. So the umbrella that he hands Nick is blue and yellow. The halls of the school are blue and yellow.
They listen to our podcast. Blue and yellow is a bite of colors.
Absolutely. Because Noah, as you all know, is yellow and I am blue.
And if you didn't know, now you know. Because yellow is my favorite color.
And blue is mine. And if you didn't know, now you know. Blue and yellow. I realized I didn't sing for like at all, so now I feel like I have to really amp it up.
You've sang more than you think you did.
I don't think that's true. Guys, comment below. Have I?
Play back the tapes. Yeah. So I'm just going to point out a few instances before we get to Higgs, because there's a few things that happen at Higgs, or there's a few things that happen at Trueham before we get to Higgs. This girl with the multicolored hair, I'm not saying her name. Because,
Imogen?
Yeah. I'm giving you hints so that you'd say her name. Is full on swooning for Nick.
Yeah.
They have a cute little moment, hard eyes, everything
She's got
like
those
that.
big blue eyes.
Yep.
She's blinking at him. She
Yep.
loves him.
Nick and Charlie have lunch in the art room where they're able to be themselves, hold their hands, talk about anything they want to, but it is still hiding. So
Right.
it's good for them, but Charlie's not with his friends. Nick isn't. I mean, he's not with his friends, but I don't care about his friends.
But even what the room represents, though, right? So in this conversation, it's a safe space because Charlie tells Nick, well, this is where I would come to eat lunch when the bullying was really bad.
Right.
So it really represents a place where they can be themselves.
Yeah. And when Ben does come up, it kind of makes Nick feel a little weird because, again, he doesn't want a Bencident. He wants to make sure he's doing it right, but he also has to do right by himself. At Higgs, Tara kisses Darcy in class. Elle sees it and then texts Tao. Kissy, 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 kissy.
I miss you too.
Yeah.
Let's also point out that he said to her first that he missed her.
Yeah, Tao is very sweet, especially with Elle. Actually, mostly with Elle. It's
all about Elle.
Yeah. Elle does overhear people throughout the school talking about Tara and Darcy, the lesbian statistics, them kissing, blah, 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 blah. Get over it. It is one of those things where now we're seeing, like, even though Darcy and Tara were really happy with themselves and they had that amazing moment, now the outside world knows about it. So what is that going to mean for these two?
Yeah, it's spreading like wildfire, unfortunately, as it always does.
Right. Our Spice Girl, little baby Imogen,
Mm-hmm. Baby Ginger Imogen.
Yeah. Confronts Tara a little bit about kissing a girl. Like, why did you tell me? What girl are you kissing? Blah, blah, blah. Well, Darcy's right there. She doesn't really get the hint. She also says that her and Nick are together. Elle's right there.
You're not.
No.
Where did you get that from?
Well, she said, well, we're kind of together. But one of the best lines in this show, after she fully realizes that Darcy and Tara are together, she says, I'm not a homophobic. I'm an ally.
And then I love
Thanks.
Darcy, and Tara goes, congratulations. And
Thanks
Darcy
for your
goes,
service.
Thank you for your service.
I just want to say, if you're an ally, be an ally. You don't have to say you're an ally, and you don't have to say you're not homophobic, because that's suspicious.
Just don't be homophobic.
Right. And let the LGBTQ people have the voice and not you.
Actions speak louder than words. Although I will
But
say...
she has good intentions. I will put that out there.
And I do want to say, though, like for allies, sometimes queer people are just so tired of having to just freaking stick up for themselves every day of their lives.
Oh, my God.
It is okay to be the ally and stick up for the queer people in your life. Sometimes we need that other voice to help us, to amplify us.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I'm just saying, don't get in the way. Amplify. Don't get in the way.
Right. Also, don't start fights in the cafeteria.
Yeah. It could have gone one or two ways, but it didn't. So I think it's
Yeah, this was an uneven moment for Imogen.
Yeah. We get a scene at Trueham before the big rugby game. Also have to point this out. Harry picks on Tao, throws a fucking rugby ball at his face. I hate kids like this. I knew kids like this in high school and I hated them. I fought a few of them. I'm not condoning violence, but I just don't like them. He's just eating his lunch with Isaac.
Right.
Throws a ball at him.
Right.
And then Nick is there because it's his friends. And while Nick doesn't really want to get involved, he's associating himself with Harry. So then Tao takes it out on Nick, which is not good.
No, it's not great, especially we want things to work out between Charlie and Nick, but now Tao doesn't like Nick. It just makes it complicated.
If only he knew, but he can't know because Nick doesn't want people to know.
All you got to do is just be like Isaac and read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson.
It went from quantum physics to a good mystery book.
YA, just a little YA.
Yeah, why not?
YA?
right.
Why not?
Okay, so this is the last scene in this episode. I do feel like our second episodes, when we cover them, go by faster than the first ones. We're going to test this theory for the next one. It feels like, the first episode, third episode, fifth episode has a lot of stuff that happens in it. And then it's like the ramifications of that stuff.
Right. Totally.
So anyway, the rugby game.
Also, I mean, do we want to go beat by beat of the
No.
rugby game?
No, because do you know the rules of rugby? No.
All I know, no.
Yeah.
Something about if you're running forward, you can only pass backward.
Right. Yeah, that's how you pass.
That's all I got.
That's it. And they wear polos.
And they lift you up by your shorts.
No, thank you.
And there's a thing called a scrum. That's when they're all like bumping into each other, like in a big huddle.
Cool. What does it do?
I think they're fighting over the ball.
Use your hands.
Do you know who was the captain of a rugby team?
Who?
Our good friend Ashley.
Ashley?
Yeah.
The
In
one that
college.
just got married?
Yes.
I could see it.
Yes.
Okay, side note. I would totally play rugby. I love competitive sports. Do I understand what's happening in this? No, not at all. And they do not explain it to you in this show, which I did appreciate. I appreciated that they didn't make rugby really a focal point of the show.
Yeah, I think all we need to know is that people get knocked down a lot.
Yeah. So they go up against a specialty school.
St. John's Sports Academy.
Yeah, so they're a specialty sports school, which do exist. And it's every high school in Texas because football is number one and all the other sports can go fuck themselves.
Oh my gosh.
Harry, throughout this interaction, throughout this match, we won't talk much about it, but Harry is bullying Charlie throughout the match. It might not seem like that at first, but he's like, oh, number 14, there's something with you guys. You should go get him. So he's like egging him on.
Taunting him.
Right. And it could mean a bunch of different things. Does Harry think that number 14 looks gay and he's like, oh, the other gay guy, two gay guys, they need to be together. It just doesn't work that way. He's just harassing him. He's being a bully. I can't
think that's
wait.
what it boils down to.
Yeah, he just looks snivelly. Just I'll smack him.
Casting department nailed it.
Yeah. Charlie does get hurt in the game. Nick is conflicted on if he should go and help. It is a very intense scene. I was annoyed, but it makes like it wouldn't. He could have, because it's your teammate. You could have gone and helped him.
Right.
But he thinks that him helping him, everybody's going to know that I kissed him. Everybody's going to know that I'm gay, which is ridiculous. But that's just like, like the mind just went to the worst case scenario when it's like, dude, help your friend. Like he's on the ground.
This is maybe Nick's like not best moment in the series.
He does go and check on him though.
Yeah.
When the coast is clear.
Himself.
Yeah. When the coast is clear.
Yeah, me too.
And mind you, all of Charlie's friends are there. Ben and Spice Girl are there as well with some other people that have no names. So everybody sees all of this stuff happening. So it's not good in Nick's favor. This is like the second strike for him, especially with Tao watching. He doesn't go help Charlie. So he goes and he like wipes dirt off of Charlie's face and they have a really sweet moment. And then Isaac walks in.
Isaac knows all.
He has his like first lines in the entire show and he's so sweet.
It's like 2 full sentences.
Yeah. He said, here, the nurse said you need some antiseptic. And he said something that was like, whatever. But then he's like, oh, okay. And then he leaves. That's
Goodbye.
it. Yeah. Then, guys, you ready for it to get more messy?
The drama.
Tao and Elle over here, Spice Girl.
Literally over here.
Yeah.
They're sitting above them.
They're in the bleachers. What is it called?
They're on an upper level of the stadium.
Yeah. We know sports.
Sports.
Yep. Get the golf ball and the hoop basket.
Yep. That's right, baby. We love sports.
So they quite literally overhear the Spice Girl asking Nick out with Harry and all the douche bros around. What choice does he have?
But to say
yes.
Ugh, end of episode.
End of episode. Everything is so messy. It's so sad. I
ultimately know what happens in this season, but I forget what happens next.
Yeah, I feel like the next 2 episodes are kind of like, what happens?
Yeah. You figure in our original watch, we are now 2 hours into loving this show and we're just trying to power through.
Right.
So at
this point, it was like 1 a.m. And we kept going.
So next week's episode is going to be brand new to us.
Yeah. We promise we watched it. Maybe.
Fresh takes.
Netflix decided to skip 2 episodes for us.
Perhaps. I know that there's milkshakes at some point. There's a band performance too.
Yeah, I think that's towards the end.
Aye.
I think milkshakes is coming up though.
My milkshake brings all the boy. Oh.
We'll
so
see.
You're cutting me off.
Oh, no. I was saying, yeah. Milkshakes do. I'll bring all the boys to the yard. Damn right.
It's better than yours.
Yes. Okay. So it's all messy. Everything's, Nick, you should just like take off from school and figure yourself out before you mess up anybody else.
But also text Charlie and let him know.
Oh, what's happened? Yeah.
Don't just take off from school.
I meant he should tell Charlie what's happening with Spice Girl.
Oh.
But does he? We'll see.
But things are okay. Things are okay.
Yeah,
they're fine.
It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm excited to get to the other half of the series. Yeah. I feel like it changes a little bit, but it just gets that much sweeter. And a lot of tail ends kind of come together.
I'm putting this warning out there right now, though, is that this season is so sweet. Things are going to get so serious in the Heartstopper world in the next 2 seasons. Y'all better brace yourselves.
Oh, yeah. Because remember, this first season is the first 2 volumes of Heartstopper. So the next one, we'll see.
Well,
I didn't want to say anything.
I know. I've read them.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to the special segment. This is TBRL, Heartstopper edition, to be read and loved. So this book is Check Please, #Hockey Volume 1 by Ngozi Ukazu. So I chose this one.
I have it in my hand, guys. I'm being very much like Dana, what's her name?
Vanna White?
Vanna White.
Donna
But you knew who I was talking about.
I sure did.
See?
Because I love game shows.
We're great at Pictionary.
Here we go. So the copy that Noah's actually holding is, so this had this had a similar trajectory. Yeah.
You got it signed?
It was at Comic-Con. I got it signed.
And he drew. They drew.
Yeah, she drew. But this had a very similar story to Heartstopper in the sense that it started as a webcomic and then she self-published it, which is the one that you're holding. And then I think Macmillan ended up buying this and creating like a graphic novel by a
Because it
major
doesn't
publisher.
look like this, right?
No, now it's shaped more like a regular graphic
Yeah,
novel.
because I was going to say, I think I saw it at one of the libraries and it's like a book.
Right.
Yeah.
She was in Artist Alley at Comic-Con that year.
One of my favorite places.
Love Artist Alley. And I was really excited. And so I wanted to buy it. And the softcover one was like $20, but she only had the hardcover ones left and they were $40. And she was sitting right there. So I was like, yes, of course I'll take it. But now I have the self-published hardcover with the illustration inside signed.
And signed. Yeah. And the other ones are like regular books. Who wants regular books? Get a cool book like
what
this.
I got.
Yeah.
All right. So a little bit about this book.
Oh, sorry. I'm very distracted by the book. Don't give me props next time.
All right. I won't put them so close to you. I'll keep them over here. Eric Biddle is just starting college on an ice hockey scholarship. Once a figure skater, he turned hockey player / vlogger / pie enthusiast.
Whoa.
As we all do.
It's a journey.
He has recently come out of the closet and is trying to figure life out as a freshman in a team house surrounded by very, very straight men. Team dynamics, frat parties, new ovens, and a disgruntled captain all make for an interesting first year on the team. This first volume has a cliffhanger ending that will have everyone swooning.
Oh, I thought you were going to do an ice hockey pun.
That will have everyone
sliding.
That will have
Why'd you say it like that?
Check, because I don't know hockey terms. Goal.
Puck.
You.
Stick.
Now you're just naming things.
Yeah.
We're trying to make a pun here.
I'm naming things so you can make a pun.
This will warm your icy hearts. No.
No.
Don't put pressure on me. It was fine the way it was.
No, it was. I just wanted to add to it.
So this one has a little bit of baking in it like Bloom did. And it also has the sports in it like Heartstopper does. So it's a little mix of both.
Oh, yeah. Oh. You could read both of them, and then you can get both of the mixes of Heartstopper.
You can call it Check Bloom Hearts.
Bloom in.
Check Stopper Bloom.
I'm so sorry, guys.
It's really gone off the rails.
Yeah. Next week, episodes 5 and 6. Ooh. Oh, man. We're going to have 2 more episodes of this.
Quick season.
Quick. Hope you're enjoying it. We're enjoying it. It's fun to just let loose and talk about gay things.
Like gay, being gay and gay stuff. But I feel like we haven't necessarily heard from our listeners about what they think of Heartstopper.
Yeah.
So I want to know what you all think of Heartstopper.
Let us know.
Yeah.
There is somebody that just recently commented on Facebook. We don't get much interaction there. What is Facebook? Facebook.
Who is a Facebook?
But they said they're currently not feeling well, but they had never watched it. But since we started talking about it, they're going to start watching it once they feel better. So that's cool. 1, get well soon. Right.
And 2, hope you enjoy it.
Yeah. Think their name is Theo. Could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. If it's you, you know who I'm talking about.
Guys, just go on Facebook and look.
Yeah. Hold on. Okay. So next week, 5 and 6.
See you then.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to A Bite Of. Artwork and editing by our own Noah. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at A Bite Of Pod and on Facebook at A Bite Of. If you have questions, recommendations, or just want to say hi, you can email us at abiteofpod@gmail.com. You can find us on all podcast platforms. Please be sure to rate and review to spread the word. Hope you join us next time on A Bite Of. Bye.